let's elevate your awesomeness and do a little better. And as a result, bring yourself and others around you more joy, happiness, and great times. Do you want to know what you can do? Hello, my awesome friends. Honestly, is there anything better than hanging with teens and young adults? I love it, so thanks for being here with me today. I know that sometimes your kind can be a little rough around the edges, a little judgy, and at times even a little mean. But even then, even in the midst of our mistakes, I believe that the good, the awesomeness, the love that is in us, that is most absolutely in you, even if it's taking a nap at the moment, is so much greater than our rudeness and our fear and some of our lack of experience. So a little while ago, I released a video and a podcast about what to do if you're being bullied, and several of you actually responded back and asked the question, what if I'm the bully? Which, by the way, is just awesome. Your willingness to take a look in is sheer brilliance. Humility and wisdom are such attractive values and principles. I hope all of you have a desire to nurture those values inside of you. My friends, your ability to look inside of you is called insight or awareness. And as you continue to evolve through your adolescent years, you will become better and better at this skill of being able to see yourself, your behaviors, your thoughts, and your feelings. A really fancy word for this, by the way, is metacognition. Seriously, take that word home and impress your parents and older siblings with it. Insight, awareness, and metacognition is awesome because it gives us power and the ability to make improvements simply because we're able to see them and understand a little bit more about ourselves. Sorry for getting sidetracked, but again, I love that you're willing to admit that you may be engaged in some of these behaviors yourself. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to quickly raise your ability to see what these behaviors look like. Then I'm going to give you some reasons for why you're doing them. And lastly, I'm going to give you some pro tips, right, on what you can do instead. Are you ready? Let's go. First, I think it's important for you to recognize the 4 types of bullying. There's physical, social, verbal, and cyberbullying. Physical bullying or harassment is any time that you hit, push, grab, or hold someone against their will. This also includes threatening to hit or beat up someone. Bullying is usually defined as something that happens repeatedly, but even if you're doing this to other people 1 or 2 times, man, it's still unkind, rude, and a form of harassment. Social bullying is any time that you join with other people to spread gossip, lies, or anything that is disrespectful, demeaning, or just straight up mean. I sometimes call this building armies, meaning that we sometimes join others and build an army against others. In talking to other principals and school counselors throughout the country, this is the most common form of bullying that I hear that is happening throughout the country. Verbal bullying is any time that you repeatedly swear at, call names, or use disrespectful language toward another person, and they don't like it, nor do they want it. In other words, this is being verbally abusive, and honestly, it's not cool or an intelligent thing to do. The last kind of bullying is cyberbullying. Basically, any time that you use text, social media, group texting, or any other form of electronic communication to build armies against others, or to be verbally abusive to them, or to threaten someone, you may have become involved in cyberbullying. If you're involved in this in any way, why are you doing it? Let me give you a few reasons, and maybe you'll actually be able to see yourself in some of these behaviors. By the way, I'll be honest here and admit that I've been engaged in some of these behaviors myself. In my own youth, I was both someone who experienced some bullying and that harassed other people as well. So let's learn some wisdom and do a little bit better. Okay, so why are you doing this? 1, because it feels good. In some way, when we're unkind or mean or demeaning to others, it may feel good. I know that sounds strange, but you may feel powerful when people are afraid of you. You may feel cool in front of others by showing that you're stronger or even a little mean or rude and that you can be tougher than them. When you join others and speak badly of others, you may feel closer to your friends, like you're being loyal to them while you're being rude and mean to the other people. I mean, think of it like sports, right? When you go to a football game or a basketball game, it's not enough for you to just cheer for your team. You got to cheer against the other team, and that can feel like you're building your loyalty with your peers and the other fans. I think it's important for you to realize what motivates you to continue doing what you're doing. My hope, by the way, is that by recognizing this, you may choose a higher way of building loyalty, friendship, and feeling good about yourself. Okay, number 2, you justify or rationalize your behavior. Okay, I know that sounds a little intense, but let me just explain. Whenever we do something, our brain goes to work and gives us reasons for why we did that something. These usually sound like excuses, but in the psychology world, we call this justifying or rationalizing our behavior. The basic problem with doing this is that we end up convincing ourselves to continue doing what we're doing. These are called thinking errors or thinking distortions. It sounds something like this. Well, I would be nice to them, but they're just so stupid. They're just not nice to me. They're so annoying. Or, of course, the most classic answer is they started it, right? These next examples are all types of justification and rationalizations. Now, keep your ears open and see if some of these actually sound familiar to you. They certainly did to me. You think that the other person deserves it. Maybe that person broke up with your best friend, or was rude to someone else, or dresses different than you, or believes differently than you, or is too happy, too sad, too tall, too short, too skinny, belongs to that group, the jocks, orchestra, choir, drama club, cheer squad, whatever group it is, or just lives their lives differently than you. In some way, you feel justified because you've convinced yourself that that person deserves what's coming to them. Number two, you think you're just having fun. Remember how I said that sometimes we're mean and bullying someone and we may not even fully realize it? Well, I think sometimes bullies just think that they're having fun. They may even think to themselves that this is normal and that the other person is having fun and that this is just what people do. I'm just having fun. I'm not really hurting anyone, and deep down, that other person knows it too. Oftentimes, we use these next two reasons to actually further justify or rationalize what we're doing. We believe that the other person is too sensitive. Instead of taking a good look inside of us, we actually blame the other person. We accuse them of taking things too seriously, or being too sensitive, or not knowing how to take a joke or sarcasm. Another one that we use is believing that it's just not that bad, right? We tell ourselves that our actions, our rudeness, our harassment just aren't that bad. We compare ourselves with other things that we've seen or heard and tell ourselves a story that it's just not a big deal. Once again, we often blame the other person, right? That they're making a huge deal out of it. We end up feeling like we're the victim and that the other person is just taking things way out of proportion. What do you think? I mean, have you ever used some of those reasons in your life? Let's be real here. My guess is that you probably have. You're human just like me, and as a result, you make excuses. You justify, rationalize, and come up with reasons for why you're in the right and why others are in the wrong. That's why I'm talking about it. I'm not angry with you. I just want to raise your game, your intelligence, your coolness, your success, and ultimately your happiness and relationships. Man, we can all do so much better. Let's begin here today. I'm not calling for perfection. What I'm asking you to do is to open your eyes, stop blaming other people, stop telling yourself that when you're being rude, mean, harmful, or abusive to others, that it's not a big deal. And instead, right here, right now, let's elevate your awesomeness and do a little better. And as a result, bring yourself and others around you more joy, happiness, and great times. Do you want to know what you can do? What if you and I right now, make a change because you're intelligent and wiser? Why don't we make a commitment to do these three things? One, only positive gossip out of that lovely mouth of yours instead of knives, rocks, and other instruments of war. Instead, make a commitment here between you and I. Decide that you will not engage in any kind of language that demeans, hurts, or is rude to others. Instead, make a promise that you will speak positively of others. Instead of rudeness, kindness. Instead of demeaning language, elevating language. Instead of hurtful language, use compliments instead. Instead of going around throwing emotional grenades at people, bring fun, light, and friendliness with you and sprinkle it like you would sugar on cereal. 2, be altruistic. It's awesome to not be mean or to harass others, but I hope that you will want to move the other way as well. I don't want you to just play defense or to be neutral and passive. My hope is that you will want to play offense and make the world around you a little better. Being altruistic simply means to do good to others, to be generous, to be grateful to people, to help them, to laugh at their dumb jokes. Give of yourself and give to them. Let me tell you something. The absolute quickest way for you to boost your mood, to increase your happiness, is to turn your focus away from you and to help others around you. The data constantly shows that this is true. So this year, from this time forward, right, invest in this amazing characteristic that will have a tremendous impact in your school, in your life, work, friendships, and success. Facts, my friend, facts. Okay, 3, be a hotspot. You know what I'm talking about. My friend, you have influence in this world, period. What you do matters, period. The words you use matter. The attitude you bring into any situation not only colors that experience for you, but also does the same for others around you. Be a hot spot for hope, optimism, friendliness, fun, and understanding. Ease up on your negative judgments of others and instead learn to judge others in a patient, compassionate, and understanding way. This is a sign of wisdom and intelligence. The great leaders of this world, people that we have looked up to from history, that have become models for humanity, have all done this. And let's be clear, you can too. I mean, from Mother Teresa to Martin Luther King to Gandhi to Buddha to Jesus and to countless others who decide to see people in the world in a kinder way. And it all begins with a decision to be a giver in this world instead of a taker. Don't be a taker. Be a giver. Be a hotspot for adventure, for courage, for love, and for positivity. Man, this world needs a dose of positivity, and you're just the one to give it. I feel like I'm preaching a little bit, so I'm going to stop. My friend, if you have found yourself harassing others or bullying others or mistreating others, just stop. Worry less about where you've been and instead pick up right now from where you are and move forward. When mistakes happen, instead of blaming others and coming up with all sorts of excuses for why you did what you did, how about use some courage and own it? Move forward already. Be great now. Move forward today with a little confidence instead of worrying about all of your past mistakes or silly things you've done. Now get out there and send it.